Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. I am Sean. What's up, Steve?
Hoo-hoo!
What's up, Rob?
Peace.
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 Not in Ukraine.
But, oh, look at that segue.
Rob,
Right into it.
nailed it. What do you think? What's going to happen? Is this going to escalate or what? How long is the sanctions going to last until we start bitching about prices being too high over here? Send in the troops again.
I have no thoughts or opinions. I just know it's bad to invade other countries. It's not cool. It's not a good thing.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
That's a dick move.
He's just trying to get Russia back together again.
And who would have seen this coming? A dictator who fucking makes it so he wins like 97% of the vote every time there's a vote. Who imprisons his enemies is now invading another country and pretending that he has a good reason to do so. Yeah. And then somebody named Donald Trump is like, yeah, that's a smart thing to do. Like,
Donald Trump's like, I got another quid pro quo for you, buddy.
Right.
That was the same guy you got in trouble with last time, the president of Ukraine, I thought.
Everybody's like, well, he didn't do it when Trump was in office. Yeah, because Trump basically was ready to get out of NATO.
Right.
And it's like he was doing everything Putin wanted. He didn't want Ukraine joining NATO or anything like that.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
How far does this go, you think? How far?
How far?
No
what do you
idea.
mean how far?
How far does this escalate?
He's going to take over the country. He's going to annex it back to Russia.
Yeah.
Get the USSR back together.
And then
back in the USSR.
And that's it? That's all he wanted?
Yeah, he wants to be like a real superpower again.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing. He's a power trip, you know. He's been, much like Trump, he's very one-dimensional. It's very easy to see his motivations and why he's doing things. He's power hungry. And Trump's like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like that Putin guy.
Well, we'll see how it pans out.
Oh man, it's sad. It's so weird to me. Like that somebody on Twitter put it this way: that a country that has a McDonald's is invading another country that has a McDonald's, meaning that like these are like very developed countries,
yeah.
and have a lot to lose, and it's also just seems like so archaic to invade another country in this day and age, just because you want it, just because you want it to be yours. Like it's so Alexander the Great, it's insane. I don't like it.
Well, that's what dictators want.
I didn't like it.
That's my thoughts on that.
So if Trump becomes president again, are we going to start invading?
I don't know. He'll move on Canada.
Oh, they already want to move on Canada.
Move on Canada
after the truckers. I heard the truckers are on their way to DC right now to do the same thing they were doing in Canada.
I read something about that too. But yeah, I think Trump's whole thing though, his power trip is more money based. That's kind of the difference between him and Putin. Like I don't see him like trying to invade anywhere unless there's a financial reason. Putin does it because he wants that strategic military, location, and having actual power and everything, building up the military. And Trump's motivations are different. He just wants money power. Mm. That's why I don't think we saw Trump invading anybody. He just wants money. He doesn't care about military power.
Did you download your Truth app?
Oh God, no.
The guy that's lied more than any president ever.
Right? Like
starts a company called
the
Truth.
Irony of a dude who has like the worst record of lying out of any president in history, and he starts an app called Truth. It's just
you
couldn't write this stuff.
They're trying to patent or copyright retruth. The word retruth.
Okay.
I guess when you retweet,
yeah,
I
figured. Oh my God, that's dude. V for Vendetta, baby.
What do you want more, him or Ron DeSantis? You're gonna get one or the other. Did you hear that "Don't Say Gay" legislation they're passing? I think the House just passed it in the Florida legislation, where it's like, they don't want them to talk about LGBTQ stuff in schools,
Yeah.
and the teachers aren't allowed to say anything about it. Even like a lot of kids are scared and they need somebody to talk to, and now they're saying that the teachers can't say anything about it. They say talk to your parents, where most of the kids, are coming from abusive homes and stuff like that.
Dude, Florida and Texas, we need to cut them off. Like we need to be
Right?
done with those states. Like
Right?
Texas, they got the whole thing right now. Abbott introducing bills to say that if there are trans children in a household, meaning like the parents are helping them transition, then everybody has to report them. Basically, kind of how Hitler had everybody report if there were Jews.
Yeah.
Everybody had to be a reporter in this regard. He's doing the same thing with trans children.
We all see the parallels except Texas and Florida, or they see
Texas
them
and Florida are just like, yeah,
they're
I
like,
love
they don't care.
authoritarianism. I love being told what to do. They're like, but also, you're taking my freedom away if you have asked me to wear a mask. If you ask me to wear a mask, you're taking my freedom away. However, we don't want women getting abortions. We don't want people transitioning. Like, what is wrong with you fucking morons? How do you not see the differences? Like between being asked to wear a mask, which I'm still wearing a mask to this day, and it's not an imposition. It is mildly inconvenient at worst.
Inconvenient.
Yeah. It's
the part that cracks me up is these people are always pro-life, but they're killing these kids. Like we already know the statistics of the suicide rate in those communities, So like, having them not be able to talk about it at all is just killing. It's a death sentence for these kids, man.
It's oppression. It's dictatorial oppression, and and Republicans are just signing up for it. They're like, yes, oppress the shit out of people who aren't me. If I have to wear a mask, that's bad. But if you tell, a family that they can't let their kid fucking transition or whatever, then that's a good thing. Like, that's insane to me. People are so fucking stupid. Christianity, religion in general, has ruined so much. It is ruined. It is the culprit. It is behind all this sheeple type thinking where everybody just is like, oh yeah, it's in the Bible, right? Yeah. Like, you fucking moron.
They don't want a democracy. They want a theocracy, It's like, what the fuck, man?
Let's go ahead and talk about the Bible. Something I was looking into. I was like, how long after Jesus died were the first gospels written? And it was something like between 30 and 50 years. So for minimum 30 years, people were playing a game of fucking telephone with these stories before they actually got written down. Mm-hmm. How can you trust? You can't trust that. There are most of them aren't even firsthand accounts, but they're like, oh, but the stories match up. It's like, yeah, they heard the same stories and then they told their own version of that story. Like,
you know how well telephone goes too,
right?
By the end of the line,
30 years, a 30-year game of telephone, and they're like, Bible, gospel, totally factual. Like, what?
And pens, I don't know, man.
This is from a culture where I don't think a single book of the Bible was written by a woman. Like,
what was Ruth? What was Ruth written by? Who was that written by?
I don't know who the author was, but I don't think it was actually written by anybody named Ruth or Esther, for that matter. Let me see who wrote Book of Ruth. Baby Ruth.
Ruth.
Some guy named Samuel. Samuel did. That was Samuel's work. So that's what I mean. Like,
first or second Samuel.
So
it's the same guy.
It's all same guy.
Yeah,
but that's the guy that walked all the way into heaven. We can never tell with you because you're really dumb. But, but yeah,
that one was a joke. Just clear that up.
But yeah, that, like, from a society where women probably weren't even allowed to be educated, who the fuck knows? Like, could women even read and write at that point? Was that something they had to do? Hide from men? We're like, yeah, this is good stuff. You should listen to what these people have to say.
Like, every woman in the Bible, I picture being dragged by their hair like caveman. Yeah. I was like, bitch, get over here.
Oh my God. It's insane that people read any, obviously I pick on Christianity because that's the one I know the most about, but all religion, gotta go. You got to go.
And
Except for
then
maybe the Church of the Spaghetti Monster or whatever. That's fine.
and then my kids go to Catholic school, and
Oh,
Brooklyn was doing her religious homework the other day, and there was a question about who is the guy that was hanging out with Jesus, and the correct answer or something was like Saint Francis of Assisi. I was like, those books, those are just Catholic books. Those books don't exist in the normal Bible. Like
right.
there's like so many Catholic books they just put in there.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a bunch of extra books in the Catholic
How many are
Bible.
there?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I was
like
like, no,
12,
man, that
13.
wasn't. Nobody knows that. That wasn't in the normal Bible. They're just throwing people in there.
I don't know, dude. All right. Getting the show off to a great start. Everything that's wrong with the world.
All from me saying peace.
Yeah. That's all
Hey,
I said.
I got something to cheer you up.
What's up?
Our favorite turtle with tits is making her comic debut in the new Ninja Turtles IDW 127. Venus. Remember we talked about Venus before? The Ninja Turtle?
Yes.
With boobs? Yeah, she will be premiering in 127.
I hope they rework her appearance because they have a female turtle in the comics named Jenica, and she looks much more as you would expect. She doesn't have tits, for instance, in her turtle shell.
Yeah, because all they have to go off of is her live action appearance. Correct. Right. She wasn't in anything else.
They can change that though. I can't imagine that she's gonna. Oh my God! Please don't have turtle tits. No turtle titties.
Yeah. You don't want to see turtle tits? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think anybody does.
Rob I don't even want to hear the words.
Turtle tits.
Like, it's disturbing when you say that.
Oh, that's Rob's new nickname.
Turtle tits.
Turtle tits. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Right on.
All right. So what have you guys been up to, man? Anything exciting? Anybody go to the movies? Any movies out we should know about?
I watched the new Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City.
How was that?
You guys didn't watch that yet?
I have not seen it.
Dude, it was good, and at the same time disappointing because it was so like the video game that I knew everything that was going to happen. You know,
Was like the first game?
Huh?
The first game?
Yeah.
Nice.
So, all right, if the movie is just like the game, Sean, how would it end?
This is really going back to the memory banks. From what I remember,
now Leon is the character. There's some characters that weren't till the second one that are in this one. But how does most every Resident Evil game end?
Oh well, there's like a big boss battle with you usually get a rocket launcher and then you fight some giant alien looking zombie creature.
You nailed it. It was like he goes and he gets the rocket launcher, and I was like, I knew that was coming. You know,
that's
like,
awesome.
I love to see it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen. You know?
Oh, that's exciting to me. I love that because I did not like the Paul Weak Sauce Anderson movies. Those were not.
Oh God, this is way better than those. I was just saying I was a little bummed out because I knew exactly what was going to happen, but there was so many nods to the games. It was so cool, man.
Is it gory too? It's got a lot of gore.
Not as much as I wanted, but it's got a good amount.
I still need to watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie that's on Netflix. I haven't done that yet. I did watch Inventing Anna with Maggie about Anna Sorokin, the fake German heiress. That was entertaining. And
I don't know that. Tell me about her. I don't know anything about her.
A few years ago, I don't know, only like 4 or 5 years ago, this chick, she went by Anna Delvey. She showed up in New York saying she was a German heiress. She had like 60 million in the bank, and she convinced all these people like to invest in her. She stayed at hotels for free. Like nice. She managed to stay at hotels without putting credit cards on file. That's what baffled me, is like, how do you do that? Like, how do you talk somebody into being like, I'll get you a credit card later? And they're like, okay. And then she has like a $32,000 bill or whatever. And it's like, what? And she's just charging everything to the room. So basically, she was a con artist. She went to jail for a few years. But yeah, it was this whole, and it was what I didn't like about the way this story was told is that they tried to make her sympathetic. And I'm like, I feel no sympathy for this dumb bitch. I got nothing. Like, stop it. Just stop it. I had none. Like, now defrauding the rich doesn't really bother me, but there were other people who, you know, got caught up in the whole thing that weren't necessarily just rich people, who ended up getting fucked over by her behavior as well. Cause she just didn't care. But again, like I said, defrauding the rich. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that. But the fact that it was disappointing, and like, man, it was like, you could just do this and people will believe you. You make some crazy accent up. You say that you have your money is in a trust over in Sweden or whatever, or Switzerland. And they're like, okay, we'll get you a loan.
She was
$200,000. Right?
She was hot.
No, not really.
Oh,
no, she was okay.
Say, well, there's your answer. But if she's not,
no, she's like 1-900 okay face. Like,
would you watch anything, Rob, this week?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Cobra Kai.
I finally made it through season 1.
All right, man.
I started season 2. I don't know, man. It's just, it gets painstaking.
So you it's really, just, I knew you would not. I should not have suggested it after I shit all over Singing in the Rain. That's my fault.
No, it's got nothing to do with that.
Quiet.
I don't believe you.
I'm trying to get to the ending of season 2 because you keep saying stuff about it, but
so it's not latching on at all, huh?
No. Do you like it?
I did like it. I'm surprised Sean liked it as much as he did.
Now let's go into that. Why?
It
why
seems
would you
a
think
bit.
I wouldn't like it.
It just seems a bit juvenile. It seems beneath.
I still watch He-Man cartoons.
Yeah, I get it, but it's cheesy and it's juvenile, and the jokes are. There's some of the jokes are good, but they're not that great, you know. So I was just surprised.
This is what I'm trying to understand is why, like, do you think I have some sort of snobby view? Because dude, one of my favorite movies is RoboCop. It's called RoboCop.
No,
right?
No, I get it.
I like a lot of stuff. I like a lot of stuff.
This one,
I like Adam Sandler movies. I like lowbrow stuff, but I think this is actually a very cleverly written show with great. I love the way the every character is kind of given their due. As far as development goes, and nobody is like 100% good or 100% bad like in the old movies, which I like. Everybody has reasons for their behavior, and for changing their behavior.
Yeah, well, you do have more time than 2 hours. You got 6 hours to dive into characters,
but they do it well though. Like, this is something that a lot of shows don't actually do well. And then if you want to go deeper on it, you want to go into the intellectual ramifications of the fact that it's almost like a study on nostalgia and the negative effects of nostalgia. That, like, I think the show is like, it has many, many layers to it. Even though, and again, at first I was not interested really, not being a Karate Kid fan. And I watched the first couple episodes. Oh, okay, I like the Johnny Lawrence character, but then they kept getting me to come back, not only because of his character, but because of the interactions with the other characters, and because the other characters weren't just like cardboard cutout people. Like, one of my favorite characters is Miguel. Like, that's like the most likable kid in the world. And then you watch season 2 and you're like, oh no.
Rob hasn't seen it yet.
He's not going to, so we're going to talk about it. He does not like the show.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just, it's really.
When you say it's not that I don't like it,
okay,
that's not a good descriptor.
I mean, dude, I have watched a lot of worse shows than this. I don't know. I just can't get into it.
What is
it's
one
not
of
that every episode it flows pretty good, but it's like the same problems. I've only started season 2, and it's like we're back to that again. It's like, good God,
back to what?
Back to them not communicating. He goes to tell Johnny that his son is homeless, and then he's like, he sees the old sensei, and then he doesn't even say anything. It's like, okay,
And
Yeah.
I mentioned this before that a lot of issues in this show could be solved with some conversations. But again,
Well, that's
I believe that to be a throwback though to like 80s style movies and TV shows, especially where to drum up drama, there's always a miscommunication or a lack of communication.
I thought
And
they still do that today. Don't?
oh,
don't
they
Yeah,
do.
you have
They
to
do
create.
that.
You have to create a problem to
But
solve.
it's to me, it's like an 80s trope though, where it's like, dude, just say one more line. You have to say one more sentence. You could solve this issue. And then, like I said, I think there's some characters like Amanda LaRusso, Daniel's wife, who is like an audience proxy, who she's just kind of like, this is all insane, right? Everybody sees how insane these warring karate dojos are. And so I appreciate that self-awareness in the writing too, while Daniel and Johnny just go at each other. And I to me, Daniel is the villain. If there is a villain, it's Daniel.
Yeah. See, when you said that, that Daniel was your least favorite character in the show, I thought they were just shitting all over Daniel, but they still try and, show him in a positive light, even
Right.
though, I thought
They
it was
do.
just he was the villain no matter what. Like
No.
it was clear.
Again,
But-
they have depth of character there, but in my mind, because of the fact that he is so self-righteous and just he cannot see Johnny's point of view, and I mean Johnny's guilty of the same stuff, and that's something they talk about in a later season. But Daniel, especially, who is coming from a place of privilege at this point, like their roles have been reversed. Johnny grew up rich,
Mhm.
Daniel grew up poor, and now it's vice versa. But he, even though he comes from this place of privilege and power, he can't like just be nice and helpful. Instead, he's like, I'm gonna make it so your dojo has to close down. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ,
Right.
dude. What the
Right.
fuck, man?
Right.
That's so villainy. That's such a dick move.
Yeah.
Dude,
But-
it goes against everything Mr. Miyagi taught him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
he got caught up in it, and he realizes that, and then he fixes himself, and then he does it again. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Didn't you learn anything? He just- it's like-
It's
and then he keeps housing his son. It's like, dude, come on, man, what are you fucking doing?
and it, you know what though? It does. It's not like a soap opera in that like they do resolve this stuff. Like everything does reach resolutions. Like, and you do get past some of the stupid problems that could have been solved with a conversation eventually. But I just like the character interactions. There's that nostalgic part of me that where everybody's karate fighting all the time. I just love that. It's
This is
so
great.
absurd.
Yeah,
It's so stupid.
every episode there's a reason for somebody to pick a fight with someone. This show got me from the beginning though, with Johnny introducing his character, and you see him in bed, he's hungover, and he hits the alarm clock, and then he goes to take a sip of something, and he thinks it's water and it's beer, and he spits it out, but then he realizes it's beer, so he takes another sip. I was like, that's so me.
Okay, the montage with him when he first got on the internet was funny.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, wet t-shirt? Oh.
And then Iron Eagle, and then he goes
Yeah.
to that
Oh,
dark, deep state.
Dude,
one.
fucking
He's like, I knew it.
that was another reason it hooked its claws in me, was Iron Eagle, man. I used to watch that shit all the time. Chappie and Delta Force. I always watched Delta Force around that same time.
Yeah.
Oh man, it got the nostalgia
Is that Louis Gossett
going
Jr.?
for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
Louis
I'm not
Gossett.
sure who the kid was in that, but yeah, that was definitely nostalgic for sure.
I just think the show's entertaining. I don't think it's, I don't know, the most cleverest thing ever written, but damn it, it's entertaining. That's all I ask from just about anything, is don't be boring.
Hey man,
Have
you're
good
allowed to like
characters.
it.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like, you question it, and then that makes me question. Like,
I don't
but,
question it. I just don't.
No, I love it.
Yeah,
No, you're
Steve
questioning
liked
why
it.
I would like it. Like,
Yeah.
No,
who the
he was
fuck am I?
questioning why you like it.
Yeah,
I,
like it's entertaining.
I
It's
understand
funny.
why
It's
you
a-
like it.
It's a bunch of teeny bops having love problems, and it's just
I mean, there is some of that, and there. I mean, like I said, not every plot
lot
line
of that.
is a home run or anything. But that I come back for the character. The main thing I look for in any show or movie is characters. That's why I love stuff like Clerks and Dazed and Confused and Bottle Rocket is because even when there's not really a plot, I'm just there to hang out with those characters. So I like Johnny especially, and I like Miguel.
What do you think of
and
Hawk?
I like Hawk. I do. I like Hawk. I just and then and then the interactions, and then I like their so we're gonna have story. This show does have a story. The story moves forward. It's always moving, and there are annoyances, but that's kind of like real life though too. Like I identify with having issues being misunderstood all the time. I'm constantly explaining myself, just as I'm doing right now, because I'll say something, it gets taken the wrong way. I spend 20 minutes explaining it. Now people think I'm insane because I won't shut the fuck up about it. And so I get that too. Like there's just a lot going on there. But the show sucked in 3/4 of my family, and even Mason will watch a little bit of it here and there. He doesn't watch any TV, but it's so over the top in some ways.
Do you know every time Hawk does some kind of crazy move, they make like a hawk sound?
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, the soaring that like scream. Yes.
Yeah, that screams like or the high pitch.
Every time you like it's
when a hawk's
funny,
in like attack formation or something,
Yeah.
It's like
dude, but some of the training sequences had me dying. The fact they don't train with any sort of protection. They have no gloves or pads of any kind, and he's like, all right, we're working on headbutts today. It's like, oh my god, you don't just start headbutting each other. Like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, Kristen, she used to take karate, and she was like, where are they don't have any pads or anything like that.
Yeah. And I was explaining to Maggie too, I was like, when I took karate too, and like I got to go to one tournament, and like it's point based, and like you pull all your punches. You're not trying to knock anybody out, you're just trying to make contact in the designated target zones for a point. You're not trying to knock anybody down or out.
Right.
And like if you get blood on the mat, everybody has to like you rush to get blood off the mat and everything.
So you didn't have a sensei say finish him?
No, there was no finishing people. It wasn't Mortal Kombat. And again, the absurdity of that just makes me laugh because it's Karate Town. It's a different reality. It's like watching the MCU. It's got its own rules to its own reality. And I love the idea that in this valley that people only learn karate. Nobody ever escalates to guns. So, dude, we got to talk about the brawl at the end of season 2, dude.
Well, before that, I love how everyone is pitted against someone else from the opposing dojo. There's especially there's like these two younger kids that like, they should not be kicking each other's ass, but they get in a brawl at that scene you're talking about at the high school.
Yeah.
But before that, like they take this kid and they beat him up. There's like a car wash or something that they're trying to raise money for something. And the little kid
surgery.
Yeah. The little kid has all the money at the end, and the other dojo comes and beats him up and takes the money. And you don't see him get beat up, but then like you see in the next scene, they're like, hey, what happened? And then out of nowhere comes this kid, and they're like, they kicked the shit out of me. And the little kid's got blood all over him and stuff. And it's like, what reality are we in right now? I was like, it's Karate Town. I forgot.
Parents nowhere to be seen.
Yeah,
parents not involved.
No.
Parents not pulling their kids out. After that big brawl, still the same kids going to karate class. Dude, in season 3, talking about those little kids, wait till you see what happens to one of those little kids in season 3. You will lose your fucking mind. You think that was bad? Wait till you see. I think it's the season finale of season 3. Because
it's funny.
It's insane.
Dude, the Cobra Kai kids did not hold back, even though he was little. They just beat the fuck out of him.
For no reason. All they had to do, he was smaller than all of them.
Right. All they had to do is take the money and go.
Right.
They kicked his ass.
And the best part is they took the money and gave it to the same person. They just said it was them who earned it. They both gave it to Miguel for his surgery. It was so unnecessary. The show is ridiculous. I fucking love it. It's so absurd.
Kreese, they're doing a good job with Kreese because everybody's like, oh, he's bad, but then they show the softer side of him. They show his past, and why who he is, what he is,
why he is the way he is. Exactly.
Yeah. And but then you think he's maybe. They find him like he's staying in like a homeless shelter or something, and you kind of feel
like a
for
halfway
him.
House. Right.
Yeah, you feel for him a little, and you're like, oh man, they're making him a good guy too. And then he
No.
immediately goes back. He reverts to his old self. So, but yeah,
Didn't
and
see
then-
that coming.
yeah.
But then, well, and Steve hasn't finished yet too, because there's more to come with his story too, and there's more characters coming. Everything it's just constant escalation, and the show, like, I don't know if the next season is going to be the last one, but it can't go on too much longer. But dude, that fight scene at the school, how insane was that fight scene though?
It was nuts, and it was a lot longer than I anticipated.
Yeah, it's like a whole episode, and it's choreographed.
Yeah, it was like one continuous shot, and there were people coming from different angles, and it was really cool, man.
Yes,
and the whole school, both dojos were just going at it, man.
Going at it, and then like teachers try to stop them, and they're like, "No, dude, I love that." What's his name? Dominic? Is that the name of the one kid, the tall, skinny kid?
Tall, skinny kid.
What is
Oh,
it, Maggie?
Dimitri.
I can never get his name right.
Yeah.
Maggie's yelling from the other room because I always call him some other D name.
Yeah.
But Dimitri, I love that kid because he's hilarious when he goes to the dojo and Kreese is there and he gets his ass kicked and he's like, stitches get stitches. He's like, I already have stitches. He's like, stitches get immunity. That kid cracks me up. I love that character and his whole role too. Dude, did you see where they gave the blonde chick a front wedgie?
Oh yeah. Oh god, we are dying at that. Me and Kristen was appalled, and I was just laughing my ass off.
Rob, you don't find any of this entertaining? This is shocking. This is the man who said Venom was his favorite movie last year, and he can't find any joy in Cobra Kai.
Not what I said.
It's
Yeah,
a damn shame. Because I just want to bring you people joy. Like I say this all the time to Maggie. Like, I know I'm an asshole and I know I come on strong, but ultimately I just want to show people something that they will enjoy. That's all I really want. I just want people to enjoy things, and it, better if it's something I enjoy as well. But
yeah.
I was hoping this was something all of us could get on board with. How absurd it was.
Kristen's loving it because she, like I said, she used to take karate, and she told me one of the stories where she was in a tournament one time and she was doing her weapons exhibition or whatever. And she had these, I think they're called kamas or kamas or something like that. But it's kamas, like a stick with like a blade. It looks like a scythe or something like that.
But they're small.
Yeah. And she was in the middle of doing that. And, she's going real fast and extending her arms, with these blades. And I guess some kid just walked out onto the mat during her competition. And she almost sliced this kid's head off. It was like a little toddler or something.
Oh, my God.
And like she's in the middle of it. She's turning around. Next thing you know, she said like the blade came like an inch from his face or something like that.
Holy shit, like, dude.
Oh. I was like, you could be in Karate Town.
Yeah. And they you wouldn't even get jail time for that in Karate Town.
Right. They're just like, well, no parents, so we'll just let
all these
go.
Assaults, all this stuff going on, and like no consequences. Like one kid has gone to jail, I think, this whole time. Like throughout the whole show, no matter what
and that's
level of violence.
Daniel put him in jail. I'm like, Daniel, come on, man.
Hey, Daniel was right though. I don't like Daniel, but he was right that if he was on the run,
you mean
been a lot worse.
It'd be easier if if he turned himself
in and everything, lighter sentence, all that kind of stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that created some friction. But dude, I fucking love this show. I can't wait for the next season. I think it's a good time. You need to get it out of your mind that I have some sort of highbrow taste. I really don't. I love Evil Dead.
This one, it was so kiddie. I'm like, I don't.
This is not for kids. Are you watching this with the kids?
And the humor wasn't as complex as I'm used to you enjoying. So
I think what Steve is trying to say is just turn on CW.
Yeah,
this is nothing like CW. I can't even get through.
You don't even know what CW is. You haven't.
That's
had
like
TV
the Arrowverse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Arrow. I've tried to watch the Flash and those shows are bad. Those are not good.
I'm with Rob. There are some shows
for sure.
There are some shows on there that aren't bad.
I don't think that's right. I think you're lying. I don't think that's true. Every time I've tried to watch like a CW show, it's offensive to me how bad they are. Smallville, all that stuff going back that far. I was like, I tried to watch Gotham. Gotham was probably the best one I saw, but it was still like it was unintentionally cheesy. And this show is going for like a cheesy self-awareness that's a throwback to the 80s.
You didn't
Gotham was just like low budget TV show.
You didn't like Supernatural?
Maggie got into that for a while, and I'm not into like Monster of the Week type shows. It's never been my thing. I don't know if it's just a budgetary thing.
Well, you're saying a decent show doesn't exist, but it might, even though you don't like it, it still might exist.
No, I don't think that's true.
Okay. Hence the highbrow.
See, but look, dude, Cobra Kai, Rotten Tomatoes, average score 93%. Review average audience score 92%. Like, it's a well-liked. Critics like the show. If you go through each season 1 got 100%, season 2 got 90%, season 3 got 90%, season 4 got 95%. Like, it's a clever show. It ain't no Arrowverse shit. That's for goddamn sure.
Go to Supernatural. See what that score is.
Supernatural. And why don't you fill the air while I'm doing that?
Because I got nothing to talk about.
Well, then you should look it up.
Well, you're faster with it. Why is it just me? There's another person on the show, Rob.
Because you requested it. So if you're going to ask me to go do something.
Well, I didn't think it'd take you this long. I could have done it.
I like Supernatural. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So you take Supernatural over this?
Oh, yeah.
So let's go. So Supernatural is very highly rated too. But they have way less. They have like 8 reviews though.
Dude, they've had
has like 40 reviews.
Supernatural's had like 15 seasons, I think.
Yeah, there's way less reviews for Supernatural.
I think they're reviewing just the last one. Well, sorry.
You need more than 8 reviews for your score to count. That's like when I go through my Voodoo account and it shows me Rotten Tomato scores. It'll show me like, this movie got 100%. It has 1 review. Like, well, yeah, I guess. It's not that hard.
Nailed it. Yeah, so I will continue to watch this Cobra Kai.
Quiet.
Chris and
dude, I do that to my dogs, and it works sometimes. They'll go quiet, and they'll just stop what they're doing.
Dude, when that kid fucking got bloodied up, that little kid, I was like, oh god, this is so great.
You haven't even seen you got to wait and see what happens to that kid next. You will lose it, dude. You better fucking text me or call me when you see it. You'll know what I'm talking about.
When they first opened the dojo, and he's like, what is it? Peanut allergy? No, get that bullshit out of here. He's like, asthma? That's not real.
He's like, oh yeah, when Hawk's like, my mom said I might be on the spectrum. He's like, I don't know what that is, but you need to get off of it.
It is nice to see, we have been so politically correct lately. It's nice to see someone just say, fuck it.
Well, that's the thing about the character is he
really doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just
he's
stuck in the 80s. He's not a bad guy. He hasn't progressed at all since then. It's like when he got the one phone call at the dojo, you just hear the one side of it, and he's just like Cobra Kai or whatever. He's like, yeah, we're open till whatever. He's like, yeah, we take boys and girls. He's like, and he says something like
gender
what? He's like, is this a prank call? Like, it's just funny. Like it's so well written in that regard. Like the jokes really land.
I like Daniel's cousin, the guy, the Italian guy. Keeps fucking shit up.
Yeah. Dude, that escalation was so absurd. They like destroyed that dude's car. They fucking set it on fire. I'm like, Karate Town is insane. Like, what is happening in Karate Town? And nobody calls the police.
Right.
It's just like they just destroyed his car, and he doesn't think to call the police. He's just like, I'm gonna karate kick your ass now. That's what happens next. Karate kick your ass now and forever. That's my solution to everything. Karate. Like,
I like when he got the new car too. I like when he got the Challenger, whatever that is.
Yeah.
He painted the Cobra Kai logo on it and everything.
then
Daniel's like, "Are you serious?"
And then that whole scene where he's trying to follow Kreese and he's in that car, I was just dying because the absurdity of him being hidden while following Kreese in that car.
Right, and that is not a quiet car. That was a very loud car.
That's what Maggie said. Maggie's like, that's not a quiet car. Like, aside from how it looks, it's also very loud.
And he was only like 12 feet behind him, too. It's like, dude,
right.
he could hear you even if you were in a Tesla right now.
Oh, man. So absurd.
But yeah, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. So great job.
It's a fun show, man. I don't know what else to say about it. It's fun. It's funny. Like, if you can make me laugh, I'll follow you to the end of the world, basically. But your jokes have to land. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these jokes land really, really spectacularly.
Well, I like a lot of Johnny's jokes, but everybody else's jokes, I'm like, meh.
Well, I like the jokes just at the character's expense, and the situations themselves make me laugh. Again, the absurdity of like warring karate dojos, and one dojo members or some dojo members are showing up all the time wherever the other one is. Rob is asleep. He is out.
Wait. My eyes are open.
they were not open. I don't know. I can see you. I don't know if you know that. But
it looks like they're back. Look, dude, are my eyes open or closed?
They're open right now.
41 minutes in. He made it longer than he normally
does. Yeah, dude, your mouth wasn't open. Just your eyes.
There you go. I need more coffee.
Rob, bring in the energy. Great job, man. It's what everybody loves to hear.
Who did you guys bring suggestions for the next thing that we're going to watch?
Steve did.
No, I mean, I thought I was, I thought I was blacklisted from ever, picking anything.
I'm curious. I want to hear what your suggestions are.
I didn't think of one because I didn't think I'd ever.
You had one like a week ago.
No, it was Fast and Furious. That was what it was, and then I got banned. So
why do you see? This is the difference between my suggestion. I'm suggesting things that I think you guys will enjoy, and sadly, Rob did not enjoy this, but I hoped he would. You are just suggesting things to make me miserable. I don't understand that. Like, what is the point of that?
I think that's just good podcast material.
It's not. It's really not. I can't devote any time to that. Like, I have no interest in that series. That car movies are in the same as musicals to me. There's no in for me. I don't like cars. I don't care about cars.
Oh, my next pick was Gone in 60 Seconds.
Well, I have all kinds of picks at the ready here, and
I just assumed we were going to do Scott Pilgrim since we're going to read the comic.
I think we've all seen Scott Pilgrim, and if you want to watch that, go for it.
I saw.
When's the last time you? I think that's a good idea to, have a refresher on it before we go into next week. But I don't think that's anything that. Like, again, my hope is to expose you guys to stuff either you haven't seen or you haven't seen in a long time, and stuff that warrants discussion, or stuff that maybe you saw once and maybe the full gravity of it didn't hit you. Like, I have Hot Fuzz on here. I know everybody's seen Hot Fuzz. I don't know how many times you've watched that movie, but that's a movie you have to watch at least twice to get all the jokes because it's so clever and so sharp and so snappy with the writing. Another one I had on my list is Darkman. Anybody remember Darkman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rob?
Yeah.
Do you remember Darkman?
I remember it not being good.
So that is a comic book movie without a comic book, is what I call that. I have Barbed Wire on here, which I've never seen, but I was watching the Pam and Tommy thing on Hulu.
Oh my god!
Hey, how was that? Was that any good?
It's okay. It's not over yet. It's okay. I liked it.
How's the character? How's the actors though? They're
great. I mean, they're spot on.
They look like them too. Huh?
Yeah, like Winter Soldier plays Tommy Lee. He looks just like him.
Winter Soldier.
And but Seth Rogen's in it playing another character that I think his story might be over or something. But I really liked following him more than I liked following Pam and Tommy.
What is
kind of lost interest
name?
There?
What's the guy's name? Winter Soldier. Who? I'm trying to think of the actor's name.
It's like Sebastian Stan or something.
That's it. Okay. Winter Soldier's in that.
But anyway, they talked about Barbed Wire, and I was like, holy shit, Barbed Wire. That's a comic book movie. I've never seen it, and
I
because it
might
looked
have
terrible.
watched it when it came out.
I think it was worse than Darkman.
So Darkman was Sam Raimi. I don't know if you know that, but that was like his
Yeah.
first stab at a comic book movie. He just didn't have a comic book property to go with it.
Shoot, man, I didn't know I might have had a chance to pick one. I would have came up with a whole bunch of some. I thought I was just never going to get a chance to ever pick.
You're
ever.
literally.
I was like, I thought Rob would get to pick another musical before I got to pick
No,
again.
I'm not picking another musical.
Oh, speaking of that, I have to update my musical list. La La Land got bumped. I forgot about The Greatest Showman, so La La Land's out of there.
Greatest Showman was good.
All right, sorry. What were you saying, Rob?
You're surrounded by movies, like probably
yeah, but I didn't.
6,000 movies
dude,
to choose.
What did I just say?
Like literally, you could get up and walk and pick a movie.
Hey, Steve, are you listening? What did I just say? I said I didn't think I was ever going to get a chance to pick, so it didn't even come.
He said.
I didn't look.
Dude, I know I say make some strong statements, but I thought the sarcasm would come through. Like I'm not going to just be like, no, Vladimir Putin says no. Only I pick movie.
Well, I thought maybe at some point, but I didn't think it'd be the next week.
He just said he was animate about not watching Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, like I'm not. And you could pick it, and I'll pretend I watched it.
For
but
as
I'm not
long
watching.
as I've known him, he has not liked car chase scenes at all. Yet alone a movie that is full of them.
I go. All right. So next time after this next week, I'll pick.
All right. So So let me. Here's my initial list. Actually, I don't want to give you all of them because I'm afraid. Like I kind of want to pick something a little more obscure than some of these on here. So I mentioned. Well, the one here's a movie you guys probably haven't watched because they rarely play it anywhere. Is True Lies. Like I am the world's biggest True Lies fan. Do you remember
Christian
True Lies?
Slater and
no.
Oh no, True Lies was Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's her face? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that movie is really hard to get a hold of though. You can't get it digitally if none of the networks are playing it.
Isn't that James Cameron?
Yeah. It's James Cameron, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Very entertaining, insane stunts, like absolutely insane stunts.
I remember the bridge scene.
Yeah, with the Harrier jet.
That was insane back then.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
it's still insane.
Like
it still holds up.
Scope, you're like got the aerial view.
No,
it's all live action.
Yes, to me it still holds up because of that. Like I think other than like the Mission Impossible movies, there aren't a lot of movies that are doing like live action stunts.
Bam! Yeah. There it is, DVD baby.
And
Rob, you can come over and watch it.
That is a non-anamorphic DVD. Just FYI. Hang on. Let me go show you what I had to buy.
Ooh, man, you weren't lying. This is full. Oh man, it's going to look great. Full screen on 120-inch screen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to. So
I had to go. This isn't bootleg, surprisingly, but they've only released it in Blu-ray in Spain. So this is my copy. I don't know if you can read the name there.
Ah, yes.
Mentiras Arriesgadas. True Lies. But it has an English soundtrack on it, so I fucking bought it, and it's great. It's not like a good remaster. It's not as high quality of a Blu-ray as if Cameron went back in and remastered it, but it's a hell of a lot better than that. Which I also have. So
that too.
That's what I've had probably the same amount of time you have. But when I went to watch it and I saw it was non-anamorphic, I was like, I got to do something about this.
So do you alphabetize that under M or T?
Let me show you. Hang on. This is the artwork. I went a step further. And I went ahead and printed my own goddamn artwork because I'm goddamn American. So, yeah.
Get that shit out of here. Get that Spanish shit. Get it gone.
Right. So it's under T for True Lies.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I might be able to watch that tomorrow because...
You want to do True Lies? That's what you want to do? Because I'm all in for True Lies.
Well, I can do...
It says it's on Amazon and Hulu Plus. What the hell is Hulu Plus?
Let me go. So a lot of times when those things come up, though, you'll go to it and it's like in another country is like you have to be in... some other country to watch it.
Yeah, I got time to watch a movie tomorrow because there's a giant rat infestation in the Family Dollar warehouse in West Memphis. so, like, I haven't been able to deliver to my Family Dollars the whole week because they're in there cleaning out. They shut down the stores and they're cleaning them all out. Plus, there was a problem with our orders last night, so we're not getting any orders tomorrow at work. So it's just going to be an empty warehouse.
Nice.
So I was like,
Okay.
I guess I go out, make some orders for next week, and then get the fuck out of there.
All right. Well, you have 2 weeks between the two of you to share that DVD, that wonderful non-anamorphic widescreen DVD. And
you can't find it anywhere on streaming.
not right now. Like it was on IMDb, which is like that free with Amazon Prime service for a while, but it's not on there anymore. It was on HBO for a while. It's not on there anymore.
Showtime?
No, it's not anywhere, right? Those are the only two places I ever saw it. It's not on there right now. And no streaming service has it for sale either, because I would have bought it.
I can't watch this movie on this screen.
So why don't we just save it till it's on streaming?
Okay.
All right.
So here's what I'm going to do too. Let me tell you guys about that. I haven't done it yet, and I need to. But so I have a Plex account. I don't know if I've told you about Plex. Plex is basically a way to upload your movies to your computer and then stream them from your computer. And I can give you guys the login, and you can log in and watch my movies streaming from my house. So I'm gonna put the Blu-ray version of True Lies on there. I'm gonna put I have like 4 movies right now I want to put on there. Masters of the Universe. That movie is not available streaming except for on like Cinemax or something. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put John Woo's Hard Boiled on there because that's not available on digital anywhere. And then I'm going to put Demolition Man on there because while that one is available on streaming, they cropped the aspect ratio. So it fills the screen, but that's actually like a 240:1 aspect ratio, and they cropped it to 178:1. And I don't like that. So I'm going to put that on there too. But that was the other movie I was going to suggest was Demolition Man. That's available on pretty much any, I think it's on HBO right now. I'm not sure. A lot of different places have Demolition Man though.
Hey, did you watch Rad recently? Because you sent that quote to me and I was like, how the fuck does Sean know that quote from that movie?
I have never seen Rad. I just looked it up. I just looked up Rad quotes.
Because I recently, I bought it digitally and you have I thought you had the password and I thought you might have
I have your password.
I thought you might have saw it on there and watched it. And I was like, oh,
I considered it. And actually, a few years ago, I did try to watch it. It was somebody had like a bootleg copy on YouTube, and I started watching it. But because I didn't see it when I was a kid, I don't have that like nostalgia for it. So, you know what I mean?
You're not gonna like this at all,
right? It's like if I'd seen it as a kid, it'd be like watching Masters of the Universe cartoon, where if you just see the Masters of the Universe cartoon as an adult and you see another adult watching it, you're like, we're gonna get you some help. Like, you know what I mean?
You sent me that quote. It's like, hey crew, do it like you did in the lumber yard. Go balls out. And I was like, how the fuck does Sean know this?
Internet, baby. That's what the internet's for.
Yeah, man. Google, is that what you do?
Yeah, I cheated.
So you cheated. Google things.
All right, so I say we do Demolition Man because I'm guessing you guys haven't watched that in a while. Steve probably has it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's not Blu-ray, it's DVD.
I watched it on TNT for like 3 weeks.
Rob has access to my Rob, I have Dune on my Vudu account now. What else did I just add recently? I don't know. I keep updating my Vudu account though. There's so many movies on there, like a whole world of movies. It's amazing.
Forgetting.
Man, I really had fun watching that Resident Evil movie. I was like, I want to watch more movies.
I was logged into your account the other day, and I saw that was on there. What I actually chose to watch was Free Guy, and I got about a half hour in, and I was like, this is not made for me. So I turned it off.
I watched that. It was all right.
I added Total Recall recently, Rob. If you haven't seen that in a while, that's a good fun one. We'll probably cover that.
The Schwarzenegger one or the?
Yeah, I've never seen the remake.
There's a fight with Chris Evans in the end. It's pretty good on Free Guy. But
the movie wasn't good though, so I couldn't keep watching it. that's another one where the jokes weren't landing. Like the comedy wasn't very comedic. So it was a problem for me.
It's just like Ryan Reynolds. He just plays Deadpool in every movie.
And I do, trust me, I feel a lot of complex emotions about, because he's like perfect for Deadpool, but also he's incredibly annoying as Deadpool too. Like a lot of times he's great, and then he just keeps going, and it's too much, and it's like, please turn off the Ryan Reynolds switch. It's too much. I don't. He's perfect for the role, but he's also too much for the role.
I was gonna say, you can't picture another person in that role, can you?
Not really. No, I just wish they would dial it back a little bit with, because again, going back to the Deadpool comics I love, and like the ones I've had you read, there's a little bit more subtle humor going on too. It's not just constant barrage of pop culture references.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff that annoys me. All right, so we're going to do Demolition Man. And that's a movie with a lot of social commentary.
God, I fucking watched the shit out of that when I was younger.
That was one of your first DVDs, I remember. You had one of those cardboard cases for it.
Yeah.
3 seashells.
Yeah. And look what I'm wearing right now. So this is San Angeles Police Department shirt. So that's straight out of Demolition Man.
With the Taco Bell logo.
So
ding.
Let me show you. What else do I have here? I got.
I got another new Matrix pop that came. Oh, nice, dude!
Demolition Man figure from 1993.
That looks nothing like him.
Nothing. Not a gut. Like
not even close.
I thought you were done buying stuff.
I am for the most part.
Because that's a cheap looking toy. That's not a.
It is, but it's a collectible. It's like my Leonardo Ninja Turtle, where it's from a certain era, so it's collectible. It's fun. It's kitschy.
Hey, dude, it's fine.
Well, he got all this money from selling stuff, so now he's got to buy something.
Yeah.
All this
it's
cash.
like a whole cycle,
restocking.
Man.
Got all this cash.
I've had that thing for like a year though. It's just been sitting back there. Yeah, it's not new. It's just new in the it's new in the package, but it's not a recent purchase. So I also have Demolition Man comics. Demolition Man and True Lies are like two movies that I am a huge fan of that has like no fan base. And I'm just like, where's my Demolition Man and True Lies content?
True Lies was a comic?
So no, it wasn't. I just mean like I want more. I want collectibles based on those franchises, but apparently I'm literally the only one.
I'm surprised Demolition Man had.
Yeah, it sure did.
I keep getting those Matrix Funko Pops in the mail like every week. It's like another dagger just hitting me in the fucking chest. It's like, can't you just send them all at the same time? I keep getting like one every week.
I'm going to drag it out.
Yeah.
Make you remember every minute. Have you watched that again?
No, not yet.
Will you ever?
Yeah, I'm going to.
I don't know, man. I haven't watched The Last Jedi or The Last Rise of Skywalker.
I'd rather watch
I don't
Demolition Man.
Yeah, dude, Demolition Man's entertaining. You don't have the Blu-ray of that? It's like $6 on Amazon, bro.
I don't know. Dude, I don't want to buy things again, but at the same time, I can't watch a DVD on the 120-inch screen. It just looks so bad. So I was like, I'm forced to buy shit again, Dude,
I understand not upgrading from like Blu-ray to 4K, but DVD to Blu-ray is a necessity.
Yeah.
You need to make that leap.
And if I had as many Blu-rays as I did DVDs, I wouldn't really feel the need to upgrade.
So the other thing you can do that I do on my Vudu account is you can scan in movies with, by their barcode, and for a fee, you can convert them to digital. Like they'll give you a digital copy of it,
that's
which
cool.
I tried with True Lies. So like if you just want a standard definition copy, it's $2. But if you want it in HD, it's $5. So I converted some of my stuff. This was a long time ago, like before they started giving you digital codes with everything, So a lot of those movies that I owned physically, but they didn't have a code with them at the time. But I would suggest Gesundheit, Rob. I would suggest scanning in your Demolition Man and paying $5 to get an HD copy of it at least. That would be my recommendation.
Not to pay $5 for everything.
Or spend $6 and get the Blu-ray on Amazon. 'Cause it's like $6. Nobody wants that movie.
Or spend
transferring everything
$20
now.
on another Funko Pop.
Right? Rob
Funko
bringing
Pop.
the realness. Like, seriously, stop buying Funko Pops. Buy some Blu-rays.
Well, this was the Matrix. I thought it was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be fucking horrible.
You can cancel those orders. You know?
Dude, your Funko Pops
Yeah.
are losing value before you even get them in the mail.
Right.
They're worth less than you paid.
Yeah. Every day.
Oh, that's sad.
There's one that's Neo, and it's just black. He's blacked out, and it's just got the Matrix code on him. So that one's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be worth money. But the Analyst and the new Morpheus and whatever else I got coming, Trinity kicking her legs in the air, whatever the fuck is coming in the mail. I don't know.
Doing baby kicks. Get her baby kicks going.
You didn't watch anything else this week? Just that show with Maggie you were talking about?
I watched Inventing Anna. Been watching. I don't. Man, why am I drawing a blank right now? I rewatch so much stuff. I was on that Terminator kick for a while. I watched Cliffhanger. Remember Cliffhanger?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. We should watch that.
That was on.
You've been on a Stallone kick here, huh?
I've been on a Stallone Schwarzenegger kick, like both of them. One of them I want to watch that I haven't seen in a long time. On the Schwarzenegger side, I have never seen Commando. I've seen like bits and pieces, but I've never seen the whole movie. So I want to see Commando.
With who's the boss? Alyssa Milano. Little Melissa Milano.
I just found out there was a movie with Robert De Niro and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were both boxers, but they were boxers at an older age.
No, that was Stallone, not Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah, Stallone. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So have you seen that? Grudge Match, I think is what it's called.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I just remember when that
horrible.
came out, though.
Did I dream this, or are they redoing Twins with Schwarzenegger and DeVito? And then I heard Tracy Jordan is going to be the other brother.
It's going to be called Triplets.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be with Ivan Reitman, who has unfortunately passed away, but he did the original one. But it's not they're not redoing it. It's supposed to be a sequel.
Yeah, it's a new movie.
Yeah. I don't think they had started filming. I think it was supposed to start filming in this fall, from what I read on Schwarzenegger's
Okay, so that was
socials.
legit.
Yeah, and then Tracy Morgan was going to be, like you said, like the third brother, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing like a lot of. I've been on a nostalgia kick, and for real, like with Schwarzenegger and Stallone.
It's all that Cobra Kai. Member berries.
I think it's had some influence there, I'm sure. But I've always had. I mean, you could ask Maggie though. Way before that, like I said, buying Demolition Man. I have the Demolition Man Genesis game. There's certain movies that just hold a special place in my heart.
What do you like better, Demolition Man or Judge Dredd?
Demolition Man for sure.
Okay, yeah, I do like that one.
For sure. But yeah, but I've also been trying to watch movies of theirs that I haven't seen either in a long time or at all. So the Stallone one that I haven't seen in forever is Cobra. I want to see that one again. I watch the Rambo movies every couple years, so I'm real familiar with those.
I've never watched Cobra. I bought
Cobra's good.
It's still in the packaging. I haven't even opened it yet.
I got one for you. Over the Top.
I've never seen that. I've never
the
seen
arm
that
wmovie movie.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I've never seen it. I'd watch.
I think
that.
Dolly Parton's in it.
There's
crazy.
So they just have periodic matches, arm wrestling matches throughout the movie.
I think he's a truck driver, if I remember correctly.
Is there a training montage where he's just doing, barbells with one arm?
I think he does it while he's driving truck.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But I've never seen that one. But I had a realization this week, though. I was telling Maggie, I was like, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of my favorite actors. Like I love so many of his. And one of the big differences between Stallone and Schwarzenegger is, like, aside from Demolition Man, and that's probably why it's one of my favorite Stallone movies, aside from that one, Stallone didn't really do, like, sci-fi fantasy type stuff. His stuff was kind of grounded, and whereas Schwarzenegger was, everything from Conan to Total Recall to Terminator, he was always doing sci-fi stuff, so they kind of had that, and I never realized that before. So I wonder if that's why I like Demolition Man so much. Is it's Stallone doing sci-fi, which is a genre I love, and then I think I like Schwarzenegger more because he did so much more genre stuff.
There
It
was
just
a
fit.
Kurt Russell movie and Stallone movie. What was that called? Where they break
Tango and
into
Cash.
prison? Huh?
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another one I haven't seen in a long time. I have seen that one. That's where that's where I first heard the phrase FUBAR. It was in that movie.
I know
But yeah,
I
it's
saw
like-
that. I don't remember anything of that.
But yeah, I was like, man, I think Schwarzenegger's like one of my favorite actors. Like, I like so many of his movies. I do. Like, even some of the lesser known ones, like Eraser. Like, I love Eraser. And again, True Lies, which is like a blip that's a James Cameron movie, and nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about Terminator, Titanic, Avatar, maybe even Aliens. No, people rarely mention True Lies. And it was a hit. It was a big movie that year, but I don't know. It just goes unnoticed, unrecognized.
Predator.
I remember going to see that with Dad. It was 80 something, right?
Which one? True Lies?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Late
94.
90.
94.
94.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Was that
Um,
late?
Yeah, it was 94. It came out the year after Last Action Hero. Last Action Hero, another movie I love that most people do not.
Dude, did he put out like a movie every year or something? Or like
Almost, I think he took 92 off. So after Terminator 2, I don't think he didn't have anything until 93, which was like Last Action Hero. And I think, but I don't know though, because he had like Kindergarten Cop, he had Junior, he had Twins. So yeah, that dude was a workaholic, man. He put out shit almost every fucking year.
The Sixth Day.
Starting
The Last
back
Action Hero was, I remember that was like, the budget was like one of the most expensive movies up to that time or something like that.
It was
And
very, very high
bombed.
budget.
Yeah.
And it bombed because it came out like a week before Jurassic Park or a week after Jurassic Park or something. It was very bad timing. It was not a great movie, but it's another one I have a deep fondness for. That was the first Schwarzenegger movie I ever saw in a theater. Just because of my stupid mom. But so I have a fondness for that movie.
I wish I could remember like my first movie and shit like that. Like you're always like, oh, I was here and I was this old and I had popcorn for the first time and I'm like, I don't remember it. I don't remember anything.
That's because Sean went to one movie a year. We went to
Right.
2 movies a week.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that's more of a trauma thing than anything. I remember watching movies and I remember not being allowed to watch movies.
Well, never mind. I don't want those memories.
Yeah, you don't necessarily like.
I'm good.
So that's why I remember going to see Dick Tracy. I remember going to see Batman Returns with you guys. Very, very specific number. But 91 is when I was actually allowed to go see movies again, and I saw like Rocketeer and Robin Hood in the theater.
This next Batman, this looks really good. I can't wait to see this.
Oh yeah, so that we'll talk about that.
When's that?
That'll probably
out?
just
March
the 4th.
Yeah.
This weekend? Next weekend?
The 4th. When I don't know, whenever that is.
It's this weekend, isn't it?
No.
Next weekend.
This weekend is tomorrow.
What the hell? What year we in?
Rob just woke up. Where am I?
Dude, I've worked way too many hours.
But yeah, I'll probably go see that in the daytime. COVID numbers way down right now, so that's nice. Kind of getting back to a little bit of more of a normal. Still haven't got the COVID yet. Woohoo!
Do they have mask mandates in Ohio or?
That word mandate, I don't like that because like nobody enforces anything anywhere I've been.
So no.
I think you have to go to like a blue state. Like Maggie was telling me when she was in Seattle, like everybody had masks on.
Yeah. When we were in New Orleans was really blue, and when we were there, man, we had to show our ID cards just to go in restaurants, our Vax cards.
See, I've never had to do that.
I was like, holy shit! I was like, why didn't they do this everywhere?
Right? Yeah. I went because you know what? They're taking away your freedom, man.
But yeah, nobody was complaining. We all just showed our cards and we sat down and ate. You know. That was
You didn't
wild.
you didn't have the gazpacho police looking over your
No,
shoulder.
the gazpacho piece was not. I didn't get black bagged by Creedy.
Or
You
you
couldn't get in the
disappear.
arena. You couldn't get in the tool without showing your vaccination card
Okay.
Right.
or negative test. And
So,
everybody showed up.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not that big of a deal.
All
Really
right.
not.
My kids are screaming. I don't know what's going on.
All right. So you want to wrap it up? Next week. What's that?
Yeah, I'm good. Like I ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Steve's
All right.
got
So
nothing. I don't have
next week we're going to discuss the first volume of Scott Pilgrim.
I did read the first volume. That we were
Did you?
supposed
Okay.
to.
I read it too.
So did I.
There's this fucking line in there. I have me fucking rolling, and you're gonna laugh your ass off. You probably already know what I'm talking about, but
Well, we read it. We all read it.
yeah. Well, I'll save it for next week when we talk about it.
So yeah, next week Scott Pilgrim, and then we'll do Demolition Man, and then bring some ideas to the table, man.
Yeah.
And
well, if I know,
I'll be the
shit. I didn't think I was able
I'll be
to pick
the gazpacho
ever.
police, and I'll determine if it's worth watching. But yeah,
Ah.
I'm just telling you right now, if you pick Fast and Furious,
I'm not
going
gonna
to
pick
watch it.
Fast and
Okay,
Furious.
I'm just
Jesus
giving you fair
Christ,
warning
man.
here. Fair warning.
Not gonna
or musical. If you pick Moulin Rouge, I'm not doing it.
I'm not picking Fast and Furious. I'm picking Too Fast, Too Furious.
Again,
Fast and Furious 9.
I will just lie and say I watched it, and I'm telling you that in advance because I'm a good friend.
Oh, I can't wait to sort through some movies around here, especially some.
Have you watched all the Fast and the Furious movies?
Yeah, including the Hobbs and Shaw one too.
Jesus.
Did I watch the fucking movie? Who you talking to? Yeah, I watched them.
All right, we'll continue your Cobra Kai watch through. I wish Rob would also enjoy it.
Are you gonna?
I'm trying.
Did you show it to Molly at all?
Yeah, I have it on at night.
Yeah, she's not interested.
Nah.
She has terrible taste, though. I don't think I've ever liked anything she likes.
It's probably true.
Like every single thing she mentions, I'm like, I'm always like real polite. I'm like, yeah, I saw a commercial for that.
You don't like Murder, She Wrote? What the hell's the matter with you?
Right. Like, I have an appreciation for Murder, She Wrote, though. The fact that show was on for so long, and just like the simplicity of it, and then the idea that Angela Lansbury is actually a murderer is always been my take.
Why do all women love that show? I don't get it.
It's like comfort food. And again, I think the Cobra Kai is almost the Murder, She Wrote equivalent in that the stakes are very low in Cobra Kai until the end of season 2 anyway, when you're like, which we didn't even talk about poor Miguel getting his fucking back broken. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then, dude, when Logan saw that and Mason saw it, Mason was like, oh, he died. He's dead. I was dying, dude. And I was like, there's no way he's dead. And Logan's like, no, he is dead. He died. I was like, dude, it is not that kind of show. It is not that serious. They're not. This isn't Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
they're not trying to,
never once did I think he was dead or going to die or whatever. But yeah, it's like, no, you can't do that. But then again, I never thought I'd see like an 8-year-old's face bloodied up either. So I guess they can go anywhere they want.
Yeah, it could all. But I was like, dude, that's not the show. Wasn't trying to be that show. It's not trying to be Game of Thrones.
They did do the slow motion shot though when he was falling and they had his arms flailing. Dude,
yeah, they did. When they did the replay though, when at full speed, that's when I was like, "Oh, my back!" Like, my back. They showed it from a different angle. They showed his back hit that railing. Yeah. I was like, "Oh God!"
Oh yeah, God, I definitely leaned over and held my back. I was like, "No, no."
And I was like, "Oh, poor Miguel." Because you love Miguel and his mom and his grandma and all those people. Like they're all such great, sweet characters. And so, I mean, that was perfect writing to do that to Miguel, the one character that they had written to be super sympathetic, you know.
And right as Johnny's hooking up with his mom too, and everything's going well, and it's like, oh fuck, like, God damn it,
Miguel's grandmother. Aren't you nervous? No, I smoked a joint before we came.
Yeah, his grandma's great, man.
When she thought he was in there jerking off when he was practicing karate. That was great.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was dead or anything. Black Widow would have had no problem falling from there.
Oh, dude, she would have just gotten
Oh,
up.
she did it. She did.
She would have been like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
16 times.
He
Bam,
fell,
bam,
he fell
bam,
2
bam.
stories, got paralyzed. She fell 6, and she was like, I broke a nail. Fuck. Like, there's always power creep in comics, but it's absurd when you do it with a human. Like, when the person has no superpowers, they shouldn't have power creep because they don't have powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing to say Captain America can survive that fall or Winter Soldier or whatever. You can't put Hawkeye or Black Widow or even Falcon in that position and then just be like, oh yeah, he's just, he's really strong.
Yeah, this is shit.
He's fucking dead.
This is shit I never even would have considered. So we started doing this podcast. Now I fucking look at shit like that. I'm like, fuck, man, I can't even enjoy him a fucking fall.
Excellent.
Ooh. So
Can you
Rob,
think it on a
are you
deeper
going to watch
level?
more or no? You think you'll pick it up?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Because I would love to talk about it once I finish it up, but I don't want
I
to.
can't wait
keep
for you to
talking
finish
about
season
it.
4.
I don't care.
You don't care at all?
No,
Dude,
it's not going to. I mean, what are you spoiling? I mean, it's the same
I don't
thing.
know. I haven't watched the next 2 plus the new one, so.
Yeah. Are there 4 seasons?
There's 4 seasons. Steve, I do recommend you go back and they have all the Karate Kid movies on either. I think it's on Peacock or Paramount.
Well, we just watched the first 2 recently.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Probably this year. Me and the kids watched them.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in the third one. I was like,
should watch the
Rob,
third
I
one.
thought the third one was one with the.
Who was the third one?
You should
What
watch
happened in the third one?
He told you this last week.
The third one is
forgot.
basically a remake of the first one. It's got Kreese, but it's got this other guy, Terry Silver. You should stop watching Cobra Kai and go watch Karate Kid 3 before you watch more Cobra Kai. That's my recommendation.
Nah.
Where you're at. I'm talking to Steve. I know you don't care.
Yeah, they show footage of like when Daniel's, joined Cobra Kai and he's, going evil or whatever. Not evil, but, different point of view. And I'm like, they're showing footage from that. I'm like, I don't remember this movie at all.
Yeah, I had never seen it until a few weeks ago. Like, I literally never seen it because, again, I was not a Karate Kid fan. And the second movie was so bad, I didn't care about the third one. And the third one is terrible. I'm not telling you it's a good movie, but you should watch it though. Like, don't come at me and be like, that movie sucked. But it's more enjoyable than 2 because it's like so insane. You will laugh at stuff that is not meant to be funny in that movie.
So it's basically like Cobra Kai.
Well, no, Cobra Kai is intentionally funny. I don't think you've noticed that, but it's actually written by, again, those are comedy writers. They wrote Hot Tub Time Machine and other stuff. So that's kind of like their wheelhouse. So the comedy in Cobra Kai is absolutely intentional.
What about the Karate Kid movie with Will Smith's son? Is Mr. Miyagi?
Never saw.
Is that a different universe? Or is that Miyagi is still alive?
No fucking clue.
Okay.
Not a clue. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about the Hilary Swank one either.
But you said that one was the same universe.
It has Miyagi in it. It has Pat Morita in it.
Yeah, so you do know something.
But that's it. I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it. But I do recommend you watch Karate Kid 3.
Does Elizabeth Shue show up?
No, she sent Daniel a Facebook invitation, a friend request.
Johnny sent it to Johnny.
Or Johnny, yeah, sorry.
Everybody shows up. Everybody did they Steve, have you seen the episode where Johnny's friends show up?
Yeah.
Did you look those are all the same guys.
Yeah. Well, I figure when they showed the flashback, I was like, oh, these must be the same actors.
They are the same guy, and then the guy dies, and they zip him up in a body bag, and that is the guy who said, put him in a body bag, yeah. So, like, how brilliant was that? Like, the guy that's yelling about a body bag, the last shot of the episode is him getting zipped into a body bag.
They didn't say that. Did they say that line while they were zipping him up in the show?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a line. That's a very famous line from the first movie.
Okay.
When at the end of the movie, you hear one of the Cobra Kai guys. He's like, put him in a body bag, yeah. and then that guy ends up in a body bag. And I was like, these guys are fucking brilliant. That's so funny.
That guy died in real life.
Yeah, I was telling Maggie, I was like, I think they might have actually taken this guy out of cancer treatment for this episode. Like,
Right.
I don't think this was I think this was like a documentary episode. Like,
Yeah, because
I don't think it was staged.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's sad. And then like in the next season, like you see it in memory of that guy. I'm like, oh, that's really sad.
And he looked bad, and he was dying when I'm sure that's why they killed him off on the show. Because of that, because obviously he wasn't in good shape, but they got him. Everybody's back except for Pat Morita. Hologram Pat Morita might show up.
Called foreshadowing,
dude. I
knew he was gonna die.
I wonder if that was like he was terminal, just like they had it in the show.
It was. I looked it up. I did a little. There's this thing called Google.
Yeah.
I went on the Google and I looked him up, Steve, and I found out all this stuff about him.
And what kind of cancer was it?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't even know if it was cancer. He had a terminal illness, and he was in bad shape for a long time.
Oh man!
And then he passed like shortly after, like that episode aired or whatever. But yeah, like the genius of that though, to have that guy zipped up in a body bag and to make no reference to it in the whole episode. That was like that little insider joke for Karate Kid fans where that guy ends up in a body bag.
Yeah, and the one guy's a pastor or whatever too, and he goes and calls him out while he's giving a sermon. He's like, "Remember that time in Bora Bora or whatever, with all those chicks?" And he's trying to give a speech, a homily or whatever.
And I love too that all his friends are like, "Dude, why are you starting Cobra Kai again? That was a horrible experience in our life. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you?"
And then he was like, "Oh yeah, and Kreese is back."
Right.
They're like, "What?"
Like, what is wrong with you, bro? Like I said, it's almost like a treatise on the dangers of nostalgia. And I like that element of it as well. Like, as it is a nostalgic show, but at the same time, it's also like, hey, you can't live in a state of nostalgia. It's a very dangerous place to be.
Is Elizabeth Shue in just one episode?
Yeah, she's just in one episode.
Okay, I figured.
It's a good episode, though. It's a great episode. It's funny. Johnny trying to impress her when he's ordering food and stuff, dude.
And I'm sure they bump into Daniel at some point.
And of course, at the same goddamn country club they were at in Karate Kid 1, because everything fucking is a circle, dude. Like it's amazing.
Well, at least it
makes me wish I was a Karate Kid fan, so I could truly, because there's Karate Kid fans like, oh my god.
So it wasn't at the putt-putt golf course then?
No, they've already done that though. I think they do go to a putt-putt golf course, the same one. I think that's where they go. Oh, it's just nuts, dude. It's just the amount of fan service to a series that has so few fans is funny.
I like the end of the first season when he does that move, because his arms hurt. So they do it like, what was that thing? Miyagi was trying to teach him a kick while standing, or
the one armed, the two-legged kick or whatever. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, here it comes. But that was cool. That was a good fight. They had some good fights. They're not great, but they're entertaining.
They're pretty solid. Again, compared to Arrowverse stuff, the fights look fantastic.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I do. I will vouch.
How much Arrowverse have you watched? I watched fucking 4 seasons.
Of what?
Of Arrowverse. There's some good fights in that.
No, Arrowverse covers a lot of shows.
Yeah,
The Flash covers Arrow,
Superman, Supergirl.
So I watched some of Supergirl. I got through an episode or 2 of that before I was like, this is fucking, like, dude, that I don't remember what the special defects in that show were so bad. I was like, I'm done with this show. The same with the budget for the effects coupled with the writing is like just I can't get into it. And again, the writing is not like the difference. I think between the Cobra Kai and the Arrowverse type stuff is that the Arrowverse is created by Warner Brothers and they hire writers. Cobra Kai, if you do the research, was created by the guys who did Hot Tub Time Machine. They came up with the whole concept because they love Karate Kid so much. So you have the difference between writers who are passionate about the property versus writers who are hired to write this property.
Yeah, that
makes a big difference.
The best Arrowverse one is I forget what it's called. Heroes of Tomorrow, or what is it called, Steve?
Oh, I don't know. When they all get together.
It's goofy, and it's supposed to be goofy, and it tries to be goofy. It doesn't take itself seriously like the other ones do.
Well, a lot of my issues just come down to the costumes. Tomorrow,
what is it called?
Are you talking about when they all get together?
Yeah, no, that's the. I forget.
Yeah,
I don't watch it anymore, but I watched like 3 or 4 seasons, and it was fun. It was entertaining.
I was just talking about the fight scenes. I think they're on par with what we saw in Karate
Dude,
Kid.
when I saw the
There's
fight
just
scenes
more
in
of it in
Supergirl,
Karate Kid.
I was just like, oh, it's terrible. Well, something you don't see though too is they don't want the kids, and this was like some behind the scenes shit. The actors are actually getting really good at martial arts. Well, some of them you can tell aren't, including fucking Daniel LaRacist.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Daniel LaRacist.
Daniel LaRacist. I love that joke. But I guess some of the kids are progressing at a rate that they're actually really good at martial arts, but they're actually writing the fight scenes and choreographing the fight scenes to a certain level of skill, since they haven't been taking martial arts that long on the show, even though they get personal training. So the fight scenes aren't even meant to be like John Wick caliber because of that. But that's, and maybe, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the writers, or that's what the behind the scenes type choreographers said about the scenes. And some of them I could tell are good. Like that Hawk kid is really good.
Yeah.
That one chick with the Betty Boop face, whatever her name is.
I was thinking, man, she has a
Aisha?
real pronounced jawline. It was like
she's got a big round face.
It just looked
Tori, that's her name. Tori.
Disproportionate. It was so weird.
Yeah, she's got a big face.
It's like her cheekbones were out past her ears. It was crazy.
I call her Betty Boop. She's got Betty Boop face, but she's really good though. Like her versus Daniel LaRace's kid. Like she's much more believable at martial arts than Daniel LaRace's kid.
People that listen are like, it's LaRusso.
They're calling me Daniel LaRacist on here. I was dying. I was like, the way they work all that stuff in was fucking brilliant. But anyway, go back to the CW Arrowverse type stuff, or like Titans. I see the costumes, or maybe it's just the way they're filmed, and it just looks so cheap and so like 1987 that I'm like, dude, we're past this. The costumes shouldn't look this cheap at this point, at this stage. And if you're not going to put the money up, then don't make the fucking show. I know you have the money. You're Warner Brothers. You have the fucking money. You can make a show with better costume design, or just better filming, or whatever it takes to make those costumes look right on film. And it just turns me off. Like I remember I tried to watch an episode of Arrow where Deathstroke showed up. And as soon as he showed up in the episode, I turned it off. I was like, I could have made that costume with shit in my closet. Way to go. I love Deathstroke. I think he's got a great design.
Oh, is that his final costume? Because he was in it for like a whole season or more.
I have no idea. I saw it for 20 seconds. I turned it off. I was
you
like,
might have saw just the first iteration of it.
I couldn't take it.
Before the final.
And then dude, have you seen the Batman costume that they put on that kid for Gotham? Has anybody seen that?
I only saw the first season of Gotham.
I didn't watch Gotham.
Sounds like a great show, Steve. Anyway,
I enjoyed the first season.
I watched the first season, and it wasn't terrible, but it was very old school TV, but not intentionally so. It's just a budgetary thing. However, so eventually Bruce Wayne ends up in a Batman costume, and you don't need to see it because you've seen Pulp Fiction and you've seen The Gimp. That's what his costume looks like. That is what the Batman costume looks like from Gotham. I shit you not. Look it up right now. You're on a computer. Look up Bruce Wayne, Gotham, CW, Batman costume. That is a real picture. That is a real thing.
He's got a ball in his mouth.
Possibly. Let me see if I can find it. Is it on the CW? I don't know what it's on. Let's go to
I
images.
think it
Yes,
was
go
on
to.
CBS.
I typed in Gotham Batman costume CW. There is the fourth result in the image search. If you go to images,
Oh my god,
and
looks like an umpire's vest.
yeah, look at that guy and tell me that's not the worst thing. And there's a better shot of it too. It's like,
Where's this cape?
that's supposed to be an early thing, but however, that is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It looks like a biker's jacket.
Yeah, he just looks like a biker with some sort of gimp helmet.
That can't be it.
That's it. That's it.
That's pretty bad.
Wow, that's fucking horrible.
I rest my case.
Well, he's working the kinks out.
Like, if they didn't put him in a ski mask and a black jacket, that would have been better.
How old is that kid? He doesn't know anything about fucking sewing.
He doesn't know anything about the sex worker industry that he's been loaned out to. Like, yeah, that's a real thing they did. I rest my case.
What do you think of this new one?
The new one looks sweet. It looks cool, man. Yeah, I think it looks very cool.
Okay.
I don't have any issues.
What has Paul Dano been in? I know the name. I just can't think of anything he's been in.
The thing I remember the most he was in was Little Miss Sunshine. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
With Alan Arkin.
Who was he in that?
He's like the little girl's older brother, like Abigail Breslin's older brother, I think.
Oh, man, he was young in that, though.
Yeah. I don't know much about the dude outside of that, though.
I've heard the name. I just can't picture the...
Yeah. I remember him in that, and I'm sure he's done other stuff, but Little Miss Sunshine is the only thing I think I've seen him in.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is that the kid that played Batman in the Gotham thing?
No.
Oh,
he plays the Riddler.
Oh, okay.
He plays the Riddler in the new movie.
Nice.
Oh, I know what I saw him in. Prisoners. He was in Prisoners as well. That was a really good movie.
That was good.
Denis Villeneuve, and he played like they were convinced that he was the one that had kidnapped his daughter or whatever, or his daughters, their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and he played like a intellectually disabled guy or something. And
he was in Looper too.
I barely remember Looper because it wasn't very
Aliens. Good. I've seen that one.
Never saw that one.
He was young though.
I remember watching Looper.
I haven't seen him in anything he's been older in.
Well, you should see Prisoners. Prisoners, I highly recommend. And I think Steve has it in his Vudu. When I was looking the other day, I was like, I don't have that one, but that's a really good movie.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Fucking.
But yeah, I rewatched Dune. I watched Dune again. I watched Avatar again. I am changing positions on Avatar. I enjoy Avatar. You have no questions for me? You're just going to let that slide?
You already told us.
Did you really just say that, or are you? I thought you were kidding.
No, he said it.
I enjoy Avatar.
I thought you said it like a month ago.
But I will tell you what I like about Avatar.
He liked Avatar.
Because when I'm not watching Avatar, I don't like Avatar. But when I'm watching Avatar, I like it. And it's because the story itself is so bare bones and the characters are so bare bones. However, I think I feel what James Cameron is trying to do, which is create this ultimate cinematic world that can only be created in cinema. If you told the Avatar story in any other format, comic book, prose novel, whatever, there's nothing there. But you put it on the big screen with this intricately designed, gorgeous world, and I get it. I get it now. It's literally just about world building. It's not about stories. It's not about characters. It's the most basic fucking story in the world. But
well, I hope the second one's about story because he already built the world. So
right. Well, I doubt it though, but maybe
you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 or something. I don't know.
I think there's at least 4 sequels. 2 of them I think have been filmed. One is coming out this year, man. So wow. I do like it. It's not the like I don't think it should have been Oscar nominated except for in the effects department. I can't believe it was up for Best Picture. But I do enjoy it though. There are some effects shots though too, because the movie's like what 10, 12, 13 years old now.
Pretty old.
Some of the shots, especially of Sigourney Weaver's Avatar, it's like Those are terrible. Like those are some terrible effect shots. And it's like there's parts of the movie where I'm just like, this should have just been a Pixar movie.
Every time they connect with their tails or whatever, I get this uneasy feeling, like like if I stick my finger in my belly button too far, you're like, it just doesn't.
You don't like
I get
that?
creeped out every time they do that.
So something that James Cameron has done in every movie consistently is his action scenes are just phenomenal, and including Avatar. And it reminded me that I was just like, this is what Michael Bay wants to be and can't accomplish because he doesn't like James Cameron scenes. Like he's got the wider scope. They are set up and storyboarded in such a way that they make sense. It's not just a bunch of quick, tight camera cuts. And it's really well done. The dude's just a genius filmmaker. He's up there with George Lucas, in my opinion, with all the movies of his that I've enjoyed. But yeah, the Avatar story is just, it's really phoned in. I agree with the sentiment of it, which is very anti-corporation, which James Cameron has always been, with Skynet into aliens with Wayland Yutani. So I'm pro that. I'm pro his whole environmental message. But at the same time, like calling the thing you're mining unobtainium, like you couldn't even come up with a name. You called it something that people use as a placeholder until they come up with a name. That was like some of the stuff. It is just, it's very cheesy, but we're gonna watch that on the show eventually. I highly recommend just watching the theatrical version. Do not watch the longer versions. They do not add to it. They just make it longer.
There's an
Is
element.
it going to be in 3D?
If you have a 3D TV and you have a 3D copy, yes.
No. The new ones.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. I don't know though.
I don't know. Nothing's in 3D.
Almost up here, everything plays in 3D. Yeah, almost every movie that comes out has a 3D version. I almost always end up accidentally buying tickets for 3D versions of shit, and it makes me mad.
Back to the element thing. There's an element that Flash creates, and it has that same uncreative name. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll tell you guys next week.
Is it unobtainium?
It's something. It's something bad like that. But
honestly,
can't remember what it is.
The man-made elements aren't that creative, like Americonium and like other stuff. Like,
but
look at the latest.
Unobtainium's like a word though, and I think they use it as like I gotta look it up. It's been years, but people use it to describe something that's hard to get, basically. Like it's just like a generic term, I think. And so he just like took that and was like, yeah, unobtainium, hard to obtain.
Yeah, my element would it would totally be like Steve Uranium or something. I was like,
that's better than unobtainium. I'd rather have like James Cameranium.
Steve Tonium.
But yeah, I'm coming around. I'm softening in my old age, man. I'm like,
yeah. So after this Cobra Kai, I'm like, what is happening to Sean?
Cobra Kai. Why do you think that's bad? That's what I don't understand. Like, what?
It's just not stellar. When I go to you, I expect stellar.
What TV shows have I recommended that are just stellar? There aren't any. Like, because
surprised you recommended TV in the first place.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, there's not a lot of stellar. It's hard to maintain a series for that long.
I didn't know there were that many seasons when I first heard about it.
I think it's great.
Yeah. It is great.
It's just fun. It's entertaining, and again, it's sharp. It's well written, and you can tell the creators really care about the subject matter. It's not it's not a CW thing where they just hire writers. Like, just slap some writers on there, they'll figure it out.
So a week after you start watching Cobra Kai and like it, you now like Avatar. Ooh, man.
So, Steve's right. I did come around to it a few months ago.
Steve's coming down. He's coming down to our level, Steve.
Yeah, let's keep
I've
this
never been
podcast
above you.
Going.
You guys got to lose this view of me.
I'm kidding, dude.
We'll stop projecting that view and we'll lose it.
That's insane to me. But I think a lot of
you called me a moron like 3 times. Like, that's just,
well, you are a moron.
Okay, well, I can't help it. I feel like if I'm a moron, then that means you're better than me. So
you being a moron doesn't mean I'm not a moron. How does that? Like, I call you an asshole. That means I'm not an asshole. Well, I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, okay. Well, are you a moron?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I wasn't expecting that answer at all.
yeah, like,
All right.
yeah, that's why I'm always so surprised when people make dumber decisions than I do. Because I'm like, how can you be dumber than me? Like, that's what blows my, like, that's why I'm always so, just my head's always exploding when I'm like, how could you not see that who Trump is? Like, I'm an idiot. I could see that.
I would just let you know you are not a moron, sir.
I
No.
maybe relatively speaking, but
No,
it
He's
depends
an
on
educated
relative to who.
I've,
Relative to who
I've met
is the issue.
I've met some morons.
I think a lot of my hate for Avatar stemmed from the fact. Well, again, the story is very basic, but I think it just stemmed from the fact that it was so hugely popular. It was up for Best Picture, and in my mind, I was just like, "Do people watch the same movie I did?" You know what I mean? Like the aspect of it that I think that people actually appreciated didn't register with me because I was focused on story and characters like I usually am. But like when I watch it on this gorgeous television, which I haven't mentioned in a few weeks, even though it's not in 4K or Dolby Vision or anything yet, it's a gorgeous fucking movie. And Steve, it will fill your screen.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is in what it's in 178-1, and that I just wish every movie was like that. When I see movies like that, and it just fills the screen and it still has that real wide scope to it and not that in close TV style. I'm like, why can't every movie just be in this aspect ratio? They're like, oh, it's more cinematic. It's not more cinematic once you get it home. Movies are in theaters for like 3 months and then they're at home forever. Film it for home. You know what I mean? Like if we're watching on a device that is this aspect ratio, film it for a device that is that aspect ratio.
Hey, do you happen to know what was out? What was up for Best Picture that year?
I know what one was Hurt Locker, which was also not a very good movie.
That movie wasn't that great at all.
I didn't see the why everybody liked that as
yeah, it was. I had a real problem with one of the scenes in it in particular with the it's supposed to be a very realistic movie, and then they show a guy get sniped, and then they show a Marine, like a trained soldier, just take over that guy's sniping position. The guy who got sniped, he just like moves his body and gets in where the guy just got sniped. Like nobody would do that. Even I know not to do that. And I'm an idiot. I'm not in the military. No trained military person is going to be like, oh, just get right in this position where that guy got sniped. You'll be fine.
Let me just pick up this helmet with the bullet through it.
Right.
Put this back on.
Right. Like what it was so stupid. It ruined the whole
have to move his rifle.
Right. That's what I mean. It's like it ruined the whole movie for me. Just that one, and plus I didn't really care about anything else that was going on. But that one scene it took me so far out of the movie. I was like, nobody would do that. Nobody would be like, whoa, that dude's head just blew off right there. Let me go crawl into that spot.
Wasn't that his ex-wife? James Cameron's ex-wife?
That was one of his ex-wives, yes.
Catherine Bigelow.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. That movie was all right. So that one, and then Avatar was up for it, huh?
Avatar was up, and I don't remember what else was up for it, but and then you see other stuff like I forget what's out. This like Dune is up for an Oscar. I rewatched that. I really do enjoy Dune. It's not as great as it could be, but I think it's just because we didn't get a finished story. But it's very well done. And then a lot of people were up in arms that like Spider-Man No Way Home wasn't up, and I was like, that's not surprising. They won't, no matter what, despite the fact that comic book movies have like basically saved movie theaters without them, like movie theaters would go under. They will not recognize comic book movies, but again, they don't need to. It's like one of the highest grossing movies ever. It already won. It won at the box office, so it doesn't need to win at the
Dark Knight
Awards.
won.
Well, I think Heath Ledger won.
Oh, that's right. Well, didn't it
posthumously,
win too?
Of course.
It didn't win Best Picture.
I don't think it was up for Best Picture.
It didn't get nominated.
Oh,
I think Black Panther is one of the only movies that got nominated. And that wasn't even like that's like a mediocre comic book movie. That was just that whole all the white old people at the Academy Awards were like, I guess we should do Black Panther so they know we're not racist, huh? Like that's all that was. That was them trying to be. It was just like it was so blatantly obvious,
and then go back to doing racist things,
right? Being totally racist, but then we nominated Black Panther. Like that's all that was, because that was of all the Marvel movies. Like really, that's the one you picked. There's much better Marvel movies than Black Panther.
Oh, I fucking love it, dude. I love how people are like, we're not racist, but then they continue to support a system that promotes racism.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
ban critical race theory, and nobody's teaching it unless you're like at a university like Harvard or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just ridiculous. It's just a big ploy to get people wound up.
Yeah, and they fall for it every time.
I'm not racist, but damn, you shouldn't have that critical race theory. All
Right.
critical
I'm not
race
racist
theory
or anything.
is to point
It's
out
history.
that it's systematic.
Right. They don't want you to know any history. They just
Yeah,
want
it's
to
just
they
history.
want to continue to whitewash everything. And it's just like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Can we just talk about what happened? That
Yeah,
way we
don't-
can
Right.
learn from it and grow.
Don't
Right.
don't upset a white male. You know.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, I think we're good. I got my 4K copy of Scott Pilgrim. I'm going to go watch that.
Yeah, I've watched that so many times. God, I enjoy that every time I watch it, man. Every time.
That was another one of those movies that I just made you go see.
Yeah.
But,
and we came out of the theater like, holy shit.
I remember we saw it opening weekend. You were up. I think you were visiting. I don't think you lived here. It was 2010. Can't remember if you lived here or not. I don't think you did. Anyway, but you were up my way is the point. And it's like, dude, we got to go see this movie. It's called Scott Pilgrim. It's, Edgar Wright. It's based on a comic book. And I think at that point you were kind of just like, okay, you usually pick good movies. And
I'm still like that. Like,
and then
all right.
we went and saw it and we laughed our asses off and enjoyed it. And nobody else went to see it. Apparently I looked it up today. It had a budget of like, I think almost 85 million. It made about 50 million. I was like, oh,
dude,
oof.
that is so disheartening, man. Because that
Isn't it?
That's like one of my
reading the
favorite
comic,
movies.
I am, man, they really got the characters right, didn't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
even
the
the
look
looks
of the
of 'em.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And that's, I was going to save it for next week, but dude, and I'll say this again next week, but dude, this is what happens when somebody, again, who's passionate about a property, who respects the property, doesn't want to put their stamp on it per se. They just want to do right by the property. That's what can happen. Because this is an almost literal adaptation of the comic book, and down to the costumes, the look of the actors, the dialogue, the setting, almost everything. It's almost like Sin City level of, taking the comic book and using it as your source material. And then we get the Punisher, who they're like, well, he's got a skull. Let's do the skull, and then we'll figure everything else out ourselves. Fuck all this source material. That's dumb. And Scott Pilgrim's a fucking brilliant movie. Like, I think the movie's better than the comic, because it edits things down, takes a lot of unnecessary stuff out, and the way it puts it on screen, and just fucking brilliant, dude. Like, just it's fucking brilliant how they did the movie. Brilliant.
I want to know how Resident Evil did, because I'd love to see a sequel to that, but I doubt it did good.
I don't think it did that well at all. But it was also, the pandemic and everything too. Like, people were only going to see like Ghostbusters and Spider-Man and stuff. They're not going out for like these smaller movies, knowing that they're going to be on streaming soon.
Yeah.
But all right, let's wrap it up. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with, I already forgot. Oh, Scott Pilgrim, what we were just talking about.
Come on. You are a moron.
So I can't argue with you.
No, I'm just playing.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Peace.